Welcome back. Now that we've had a chance to look at how we can cope with stress and how we manage stress better, we'll now look at our mental well-being rather than just thinking about coping and managing stress. If we learn to think about, if we think about promoting our well-being and maintaining our well-being so that we do not get stressed in the first place. So there have been various research conducted into looking at what keeps us well and what helps in promoting mental well-being. And they've looked at all the different things, and even is essentially it comes down to 5 things that contribute to our mental well-being. So it's easy to remember. One of the ways to remember it as CLANG: C for connect, L for keep learning, A for be active, N for take notice, and G for give. So when we say connect, we talked about how social interactions are important for humans. Humans are social beings, and we live as a society. So connecting with other people and other humans is absolutely essential for our well-being. And this can be just talking, just listening, just being there with someone, and feeling emotionally connected to another person. So when it comes to connection, I don't mean that being connected on the social media alone. Now we all have different social media profile, and we have hundreds of friends on our social media profiles. But that is not really a way of emotionally connecting with each other. When I say connecting with each other, it has to be a personal connection at a personal level, a real connection. So it's important for us to take time out to spend time in the company of other people. The second one is being active. We already looked at the importance of exercise in learning to cope with stress, but keeping ourselves active, doing what we enjoy doing, the physical activities. It could be swimming, it could be badminton, it could be running, cycling, just going for a walk, it could be dancing, it could be anything that makes you feel better about yourself. Any physical activity that makes you feel better is a good thing for mental well-being. So they say you can move your mood by moving your physical self. And taking notice of things around you. Remember that the simple things in life bring us a lot of pleasure, and taking notice could be a little thing. Say, for example, when I wake up in the morning, I sometimes look out of the window and I find wild parrots flying, and it instantly lifts my mood. So a natural thing that happens around us, if you just notice and see how much joy little things bring to us and make a mental note of it, that can promote to our well-being and make us feel better. It could be things we notice in other people, someone looking particularly better that day, someone feeling being in a good mood, or something someone has done, an act of kindness, for example. So these kind of things, just taking mental note of it makes us feel better. And of course, keep learning. Now with the social isolation, the lockdown that we've seen in the recent months, we've had ample opportunity to do things differently and also to learn new things as well. And learning new things makes us feel good about ourselves. It gives a sense of well-being, it gives a sense of purpose, a sense of satisfaction, a sense of achievement. So even if it is a small thing, a relatively trivial thing that you've learned to do that day, but if you make a note of it and see, yes, I've learned something nice new today, I've got to know where this particular bus goes to, or I learned how to cook a particular dish in a different way. Simple things like that can contribute to our well-being. And the last one is give. When we say give, I don't mean just that giving donations or giving things to people. Now there's a lot of joy in giving, and if you ask any saint or any donor, any philanthropist will say that they feel happy when they give something to others. Now, not all of us are capable of giving money or material wealth to other people. If we can do that, that is good. But even if we don't have a lot of material wealth, there are other things that we can give, which can be extremely valuable. These can be, giving your time to someone else, giving an advice to someone else, giving your presence, just being there with someone when they're feeling not too well, just spending time with someone, giving words of encouragement. These also can make us feel better, because when we give something, we feel empowered that we are giving something that we have and we are sharing with others, and that is a huge source of empowerment for us. So these 5 things, if we do it regularly, and if we keep a mental note of having done it every day, then it can contribute significantly to our well-being. So eventually we are less likely to feel stressed. So another way of remembering 5 ways to well-being is the mnemonic GREAT. It's essentially the same 5 things, but it's just a different way to remember things. Some people find this easier to remember. Some people find CLANG easier to remember. So it means give something back, relate to other people, exercise your body, appreciate your world, and try something new. So we've looked at various things related to stress, coping with stress, and mental well-being. So just to summarize what we discussed today, we looked at what stress is, what are stressors, what are the different types of stressors and strain, and how our body responds to stress, and how we individually respond to stress differently. We also looked at the short-term effects and the long-term effects of stress, this including the biological effects and psychological effects as well. And we looked at how we appraise stressful situations, how we identify factors that we can and cannot control. And we focused on changing the things that we can control and accepting the things that we cannot control, and how this can make us perceive stress and stressful situations differently. And we also looked at the interaction between thoughts, emotions, and behavior, and how changing our behavior can also change our thoughts and emotions. And then we looked at different coping strategies and how we can manage stress differently. We also looked at relaxation techniques and making time for ourselves. Relaxation techniques are a great way of reducing our baseline arousal levels. So if we spend a few minutes every day just breathing, we don't have to do any special exercise for this. Breathing is something that we do all our lives. From the time we're born till the time we die, breathing is something that happens naturally to us. Just giving ourselves a little bit of time to breathe consciously, with awareness and deliberately, has a huge effect on our well-being. So I would urge everyone to take some time to just focus on your breathing and do some breathing exercises regularly. And at the end, we looked at 5 ways to mental well-being and promoting our mental wellness rather than just coping with stress and difficult situations. So with that, we come to the end of our discussion today. Now, one final word. We know that waves occur naturally in the oceans, and it depends on a variety of factors. We can't stop waves from happening, and stress is likewise. Stress just happens. If we are alive, if we are experiencing life, then certain experiences may be stressful. So we can't smooth out the surf, we can't stop the waves, we can't stop the stress, but we can learn to ride the waves. And when we learn to ride the waves, if you ask any surfboarder, they will say it's the most exhilarating thing they experience in their lives. So when we learn to ride the waves, it becomes an enjoyable experience, a positive experience for us. And I hope you all have a stress-free life, and I wish everyone wellness in body, mind, and spirit. Thank you.